Family, it's your favorite thumb with eyebrows, Coolridge, coming back to you, and this is going to be another great video about All-Star JR. And we doing a follow-up today. We doing a follow-up because yeah, I heard that they ended up locking my boy up, man. So we got to see what happened, what's the situation, why it ended up happening in the first place, and what lessons we can learn from this. As you all know, I am a CPL instructor, and I've been doing this for almost 10 years. I've been doing this in Michigan full time, and also we pretty much do a lot of classes around the West Michigan area. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and get into this video.
New tonight, a man faces a federal weapons charge after a shooting inside an Upper Kirby restaurant left 2 people with life-altering injuries.
That's all according to the new federal indictment detailing what investigators say happened inside Confessions and in front of customers back on April 8th. ABC 13's Tony Atkins live outside Confessions tonight.
And Tony, according to the indictment, investigators say the suspect even posted about the shooting on social media.
Yeah, Erica, they also say he made music videos referencing the shooting just days after it happened here. And tonight we're learning more about what federal investigators say happened that night. Jeremy Ford, better known as Michigan rapper All-Star JR, is now in custody. He picked up a federal charge in connection to the shooting at the restaurant Confessions on April 8th. The U.S. Attorney's Office charged the 36-year-old rapper with unlawful possession of a weapon as a convicted felon. The complaint says he was prohibited from having a gun following a 2014 home invasion conviction. Court documents detail more about what happened the night 3 people were shot at Confessions, saying it could have started as an attempt to take the rapper's chain. Court documents say it turned physical and a gun fell. Ford allegedly picked it up and began shooting as people ran to an elevator for their lives.
The individual, again, that was being robbed or assaulted, and I guess you would consider it a robbery as physically as they were being with this guy. Once he finally presented the weapon and started shooting, he fled on foot, and we don't know where he went from that time.
Surveillance video in the indictment show the man investigators identified as Ford firing the gun, and at one point turning toward one of the men lying on the ground, shooting them as they laid motionless. Another surveillance photo shows him allegedly trying to wipe and leave the gun on the hostess stand at the restaurant. Since the shooting, investigators say the rapper traveled back to Michigan, where he posted videos on social media and released a music.
Hold up, I'm gonna go back a little bit. I didn't mean to fast forward, but I did want to stop it right there. So from our previous video, the previous video that we did, we were under we had the information pertaining to what transpired that night. From what we had knew during that point in time, there wasn't anything that he did extra after, you know, his life wasn't in jeopardy anymore. After that, it seems like, you know, certain things have come out to be inconsistent with that. But one thing that I will say is this: that charge is going, while he may go down with that charge, it's going to be very hard for, I'll put it in this context. With All-Star JR having the felony already, knowing that that wasn't his firearm, saying that he was in possession of a firearm is going to be frowned upon by any of the jury. Because what they're going to say and what they're going to look at is he didn't bring that firearm there. He received it by way of one of the individuals that was accosting him, dropping it on the floor. He got it and he ended up responding in kind. From that, did he end up going a little bit overboard? Yes, because his life wasn't in fear of death or greater grave bodily harm anymore, and that's when he shot NBA Ben 10. So well, when he was on the ground, after he already shot him multiple times. So with that in mind, that shot, the last shot that he did, which he pretty much tried to take his head off, but you know, the adrenaline is rushing, and that's what a lot of people don't understand about dealing with firearms, especially in that type of environment, in that type of situation. All-Star JR's blood was already rushing because his adrenaline was going from already having a fight off 20 plus people. Well, at least 20 people. From that, when you are in a high stress situation and your adrenaline is rushing, what happens is you lose the feeling in your manual dexterity. What is your manual dexterity? Your hands and fingers, and you could also say your feet. Why does that happen? It's because your body is constricting the blood flow from your hands and your feet, so that way you can fight harder than you've ever fought or run faster than you've ever ran. That's the main reason. It's not because of anything else besides that. Now, your body ends up making sure that that blood circulates and rushes this way, so that way, let's say if your heart is beating fast and stuff of that nature, your body is able to sustain that, during that point, because you have an increased blood flow going towards your chest. But it constricts your flow in fingers and your feeling in your fingers and also in your feet during that adrenaline rush, right? Here's what also happens. You're dealing with that firearm in your hand while you are losing sensation and feeling, because you are, again, having to fight harder than you've ever fought. So when he did shoot, even though he was that close, it was pretty much almost point blank range, they said he missed. He missed and still nicked dude in the neck, and that pretty much paralyzed him at the current moment. Like, he doesn't have any feeling from the waist down. So for that fact alone, that tells you that when you are dealing with a firearm, when you are seriously dealing with a firearm, a lot of people don't understand this. You have to deal with the ramifications that you may not even feel how your firearm, or even hear your firearm shooting off. A lot of people don't, that you can't deal with recoil. A lot of people don't. It's just, it's an unfamiliar feeling. Even if you're familiar with shooting off a gun, it's still an unfamiliar feeling in the midst of a situation, because you're not used to having to deal with it in a high stress situation. It's different when you're out on the range and it's chill, or you out in the back of the woods and it's relaxed and it's relaxed environment. When it's a dynamic critical incident like that, like what All-Star JR was facing off with, it's a lot different. Now, yeah, let's continue though, because I just wanted to give a little insight off of that
video that, according to the indictment, referenced the restaurant and the shooting itself.
You should know, HPD on Instagram post was beautiful. I ain't the one, that's why your lick turned to a murder.
2 people were injured in the shooting, and the indictment says one of the victims lost sensation in his legs because of one of the injuries. A second victim allegedly lost his right index finger. Records say the third person shot had minor injuries and wasn't part of the confrontation. I visited Confessions and spoke with the owner about the arrest. In a statement, he says they're thankful for the work law enforcement has done, adding they've taken additional steps to ensure safety measures since the shooting. And again, these federal charges are just for the weapons charge. I did reach out to the Harris County District Attorney to see if any more local charges could be coming down related to the shooting. I'm still working to hear back on that. In Ford, he is due back in court on Monday, and if convicted on that federal weapons charge, he could face up to 15.
They say they face up to 15 years. The likeliness of him getting convicted on that is slim, and even if they did, he's not getting sentenced to 15 years for defending himself. That would literally send the wrong message to a lot of people, that you can get stomped out, jumped in Texas. Mind you, this is in Texas. That you can get stomped out, jumped in Texas, and they can have a firearm. You can pick it up if they drop it, shoot them because they're still trying to attack you, rob you, and beat the brakes off you. And I will be, and y'all charge him and convict him and put him away for 15 years? No. I will agree with what one person theorized. This is a theory. I think that they're going to try to use this to get a RICO case going on the mob ties in the JPRINCE family. I did hear that somebody positioned that I think that that's plausible. Do I think All-Star JR is going to comply with that? No, I don't. Like, I don't think he's going to like tell him anything or anything like that, because let's say if he does go down for it, you're not going to charge, like, you're not going to sentence that man for defending himself, because they saying this is, he's only getting charged with the weapons charge. You're not even getting charged with the shooting or anything of that nature. If he didn't bring that firearm, especially if he got it off of the floor, man, they're not going to be able to get that. You're going to lose. But what they going to try to do, and they know this, like, because it's just going to, like, what they're going to do, and I can understand this, they're going to try to go by the letter of the law to the fullest extent. And they're going to tell their jury that you cannot go outside of the letter of the law. Here's the thing. Juries are still people. They don't want to send the wrong message the same way the judge or the federal government doesn't want to send the wrong message. They're going to use this as a byproduct to try to get to JPRINCE in them. They are. I can see that happening. I could definitely see them using this as a byproduct, because if you use this, let's say, with everything else that's going on, with all the other situations that they're already investigating, from the the takeoff situation, the other what's that dude name, the jeweler out of Chicago, with all of these other situations that keep popping up, where people getting shot, people getting killed, and then on top of that, it's just that you're putting this mobster look out here. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's actually, if they do this, even if they don't use All-Star JR, they could use the case, because if, let's say, if they just arrest him to be able to get access to his phone, if they get access to his phone to be able to see that there was a confrontation or there was a back and forth between him and Junior, what's the name, JPRINCE Jr. If there was a kerfuffle, if there was a situation there, then they could end up saying, like, all right, there's some child endangerment situations, and that's how a snowball effect happens. It's like, all right, now we're going to start investigating you on this child endangerment. Outside of that child endangerment, we got all these other situations that's creating this environment, and this is where conspiracy starts to come in, is that you're creating this environment of y'all seeming like you're a mob. Because then if you theorize everything else, where jeweler gets killed just because they end up playing them, they beat you out of money. Takeoff gets killed because Quavo and them beat you out of money. You having a situation with the baby mama, and then y'all end up trying to run down on guy on All-Star JR. Y'all try to run down on dog do his due diligence. You reached, he teached, and yeah, they're gonna try. And then if they can find some like proof, because what they're gonna do is they're gonna use all of this to start finding more information. That's how the feds work. They always work slow and meticulous, but they try to get everything as much as they possibly can to interconnect everything. So that way it's like, all right, it may not just be this, it could be a bunch of other little small situations, or other different fights, or other different murders, or other different shootings that haven't been publicized to that same extent as these. But this is just the umbrella of mob ties. This is what mob ties does. And then you can start to pinpoint all of these different transgressions. This person got shot. This person got killed. This person got hit. This person got stabbed. This person got jailed. This person got what's that. And you start to create this persona, this caricature. You create this persona. Here's the problem with that, is that JPRINCE Jr. isn't looking further than his nose. Here's why I say that, and I know that he has this, because he's smart. He's smart, but you ever heard that saying, "You so smart, you stupid"? That may be one of them situations, because why would you call something mob ties? Why would you doing this and every? If they ever needed a scapegoat, I'm telling you right now, I don't want to put this out here, but this is just a theory. If the Trump organization needed somebody to kind of throw the focus on a little bit, just for a little bit, I'm talking about from a cultural standpoint, because they already got the Southern Poverty Law Center and all that stuff going on. But if they wanted to actually try to just push, like the Department of Justice trying to go after, you know, JPRINCE Jr., but they considered it the Mob 2.0, brother, they would literally be able to position and create a whole RICO case of saying, like, all right, JPRINCE is the head honcho, he's the godfather, JPRINCE Jr. is the underboss, what's his name, James, or no, what is I forgot the other one. I don't know if his name James or if it's something else, but the other one that actually discovered Drake, he might be consigliere, or Mike might be the consigliere, or whoever the case may be, because I started to look into a little bit more of their family and stuff. But what they'll end up figuring out is like, all right, this is a structure, and I'm just being real because I'm giving y'all some real stuff. If they can put together a case of saying that y'all structured this out where you have control over Houston, you got control over Dallas, you got control over Fort Worth, and you all make this intimidating presence where you're the bullies, you're the gang, you're the mob, you're the one that can put your thumb on people, you know, my brother, you giving them an alley-oop by calling it mob ties. I don't know how easy you got to make it for them, but calling it mob ties, boy, that's just not a smart move, boy. I'm just being real. I would have never called that organization I'm a part of or doing what's name. It's like when Big Meech had put "The World Is Ours" up on the on the billboard. It's like, bro, you asking for it. You asking for somebody to come and pick you up because you're just too loud. Like, your father already told you about how many times that they was on his case. You making it real easy for them to build something on you, my boy. You making it real easy, and I know how you think about it, and like they flaw and all that stuff. Cause I'm like, bro, all that don't matter. None of that matters. What they gonna do is if they build a case that's able to say that y'all conspiratorially created this situation and these type of dynamics, and they can finger that you specifically do, man, it's gonna get real sticky. But as far as All-Star JR, man, hey, more power to you. Praying for you. Hope that everything works out for you. Because like I said, no All-Star JR since about like 2017, 2018. Dude, cooler than the fan, cooler than the other side of the pillow. I don't know why they tried to jump Dog. Dog actually super cool. If you ain't on his bad side, you on his bad side, bro, I don't play with you. But I mean, shoot, hey, I mean, that's pretty much anybody, right? But man, that's it's just sad though. It's sad, you know, that he's getting arrested and stuff like that for, you know, that type of situation. But trust me, this is still just going to add to the mystique of All-Star JR taking on 1 vs 20 Defensive Player of the Year. I know some people were saying that he fumbled or whatever the case may be. The BLICK that stole Christmas. Somebody said that. It was like, bro, y'all. I think that's gonna be the name of this video. The BLICK that stole Christmas. All-Star JR. No, JPRINCE Jr. RICO case. Pending RICO case. Because brother, I'm telling you, I'm a CPL instructor, but I'm also a FFL dealer. We work in tandem with the ATF and the FBI. Because like I said, anything as far as me selling a pew, I gotta be able to, you know, be able to send that to the FBI and stuff. And ATF is who I work with. Brother, man, they gonna be able to. I'm trying to tell you without telling you. But hey, man, I hope that y'all take it easy. I appreciate y'all for tapping in and tuning in for another legendary video. Y'all stay smooth, stay out of the way. What is the biggest learning lesson that you can get from this? Conflict avoidance is the most prudent course of action. Okay, and also don't overdo it. Once a deadly threat has ended, that's when you stop using deadly force. Never go past that. Again, once deadly force stops, you stop. Y'all take it easy, stay blessed up, peace and love.